and it ain't no crack. And it really don't matter if you're white or black. I wanna take you there like the Staples singers. Put something in the tank and I know that I can bring it. If you can't take the heat, get your ass out the kitchen. We on a mission.
Hey, all you sports fans out there, or to you, the individual fan, as part of the collective in the Tubosphere, welcome to the One Man Sports Rant. I am your host, as it were, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Thrill, talk radio version. The beauty of this is, I'm not going to be talking that long. We don't do the sets, we don't do the live action video, or any of the bits. Alright, so this is a one of two-part baseline show. We're talking, ESPN Sports Science of LeBron carrying the torch and holding down the fort for Miami, as it would seem. It's like Cleveland all over again, part two, down in South Beach. And in part two, Jason Kidd's retirement. All right, so it has to be done this way. Just a reminder, the OMSR is a show. Has to be done this way. It's called the DMCA. We've been abiding by this and preaching this to all you out there since Gen 1. The DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act, covers fair use standard, minimal use, derivatives. You could also say no money exchanging hands. And we definitely got that covered. This is a pro bono production. We just love sports. Having played college football and basketball, a lot of us are qualified. I know that sounds like a misnomer, but there is a we involved. So if you wouldn't say a flip comment to our face, I'm pretty sure that's the case. Just look at some of the live action video sets, going back about 20 shows or so ago. We will do a live action set tonight after Game 7. Don't do it from the safety of your computer. Back to the, armchair, quarter, how would you say that? The armchair quarter commenting. A few Marine Corps recon as well. Yeah, it's not going to make it anyway. It's not the point. It has to be done this way. This was so much easier 3 years ago, but especially with regard to professional sports, the good ship sports clip Lollipop on YouTube has sailed. You can't just put up, a 5-minute bit anymore, which we never really did without our own content, but they're getting upset about that even nowadays. 3 years ago, they didn't care at all about a 10-minute vignette from half one, half two in 2010 NBA playoffs. Whatever. That's the way it is. Save your comments for the sporting events we're actually able to bring you. It beats 30 seconds. All those other bit clips run around all over YouTube. Okay. Thanks for watching. No silly DUIs while you're out there celebrating whomever you're rooting for tonight on Game 7. Alright. Roll graphics.
Breaking news into SportsCenter. The NBA career of Jason Kidd is officially over. Jason tweeting that it's come to an end after 19 seasons. He played in 3 NBA Finals. Twice he made the finals with the Nets, losing both times, but he finally got his ring a couple of years ago with the Dallas Mavericks. Jason's tweet, "My time in professional basketball has been an incredible journey, but one that must come to an end."
Let's get him back to Cal.
19 years.
Let's get Cal basketball back,
We're into some perspective now. To do it, we bring in Mark Stein, covers the NBA for ESPN.com. Mark, try to characterize the career of Jason Kidd. How do you sum it up?
We could sit here and list all kinds of achievements in his career. When you play 19 seasons and you do the things that this guy has done, he's got a resume that can fill up more than one TV screen. But honestly, what stands out for me is this guy's rep as a teammate. I don't know, in the 20 years I've covered the league, I don't know that I've ever encountered anyone who had the respect of every big-name guy that he played with. I mean, on the Olympic team, even later in his career, he wasn't a huge statistical guy, but every Team USA guy, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, whoever you want to name, these guys all responded to Kidd. He just had that kind of galvanizing effect as a teammate, and honestly, I struggle to think of maybe a Duncan But, I mean, this guy is just universally respected by everyone in the league that he's played with and against.
Mark, Jason Kidd retiring just days after Grant Hill announced his retirement. The two will be linked together now for eternity. They came into the league as rookies in '94 and shared the Rookie of the League honors that year. Talk about how those two came in together and now go out together.
Yeah, I think it puts a nice poetic spin on it, really. They probably both could have played next season had they wanted to. Jason Kidd certainly didn't finish the season the way that he would have liked, but the sense I got is the feeling in New York is, he played so many minutes early in the season, maybe that wore him down. Maybe had they taken a different approach with his minutes, he could have come back next year, and I think the Knicks wanted him back, and same thing with Grant Hill for everything he dealt with injury-wise in Orlando, to be able to get through that and turn himself into an impact player again. I have no question there would have been teams interested in signing these guys for next season, and their current teams wanting to bring them back. But they're both 40-year-olds now, basically. So to go out together does put a nice bow on it for both of them.
Well, you see the stats there. Jason Kidd, second all-time in NBA history to John Stockton in assists, also second all-time to John in steals. Mark, thanks for joining us to talk about the retirement of Jason Kidd. We'll keep the talk going now. Bruce Bowen, welcome to the Sports Center desk again, and John Barry also rejoining us now from Miami. John, we'll start with you. You played against Jason in high school. Characterize Jason's game going way back then.
Well, I was a senior, and so he went through all the Barry boys. My two younger brothers played against him for 3 or 4 years. But you just knew it then. How special a player that he was going to be. As a 9th grader, he was chiseled. He was a man among boys already, and his style of play, he was one of the fastest guys you've ever seen. But he was an ultimate teammate, like Mark Stein talked about. The ultimate teammate, the triple doubles. He's a top 5 point guard in the history of this league without question, and a guy that couldn't shoot the ball a lick when he came out, and winds up being in the top, I think, 3 or 4 3-pointers made all time. A tremendous competitor, a tremendous winner. A couple finals with the Nets, didn't get it done. Then he gets it done with the Mavericks. Truly one of the best point guards that's ever played this game, without question, to me.
Well, it's funny, John, because talking to Bruce about it before the segment, the first thing he said was you knew instantly, the first time you watched this kid play, he was not just going to be in the NBA, he was going to be someone special in the NBA. What was it like, Bruce, when you had to play against a team led by Jason Kidd?
But, you usually say, okay, drop off of a guy because he can't shoot or something. But with Jason, he would eat up that space with his quickness, or he would take away certain things and only help out other guys that's on the floor as well. These are things that, he was definitely a throwback old school type of point guard as far as getting others involved. What I remember most in Dallas about him is that you had a team with Jamal Mashburn, you had a team, and Popeye Jones. Popeye is one I remember the most. That Jason was so infectious. He'd throw a no-look pass, and everybody else think they can throw a no-look pass. And it's like, Popeye, you just threw it out of bounds. You stick to what you're doing, rebound that basketball, putbacks. But it was just, he was so special. Even going back, I'm going to go back a little further when he was at Cal, when they beat Duke in the crossover on Hurley. That was a moment where, like this California team coming out of nowhere with this point guard. And I remember Grant Hill one time said, ooh, watch this, watch this. It was right in the play where Jason sets up Bobby Hurley for the crossover before crossovers were so popular. But he was able to do it at 6'4", and he had a motor that he kept going. So it wasn't like you saw him winded. I think part of that was due to his soccer skills.
Well, John, of all the skills needed to play point guard and play it effectively in the NBA, what was it? What one thing did Jason bring to the court that separated him from all the other greats?
Well, I just think he played the point guard position like it's supposed to be played, which is not really the case nowadays. Nowadays, you got to be a 20-point scorer to be a point guard, a dynamic guy that can break you off the dribble. He made everybody better. That's what you do as a point guard, and he thought 3-4 plays ahead. I think he had the greatest basketball mind that I had seen, that I played against. He could just sense the game. He knew where guys were going to be, the anticipation, and again, the athleticism. I mean, we don't remember that that because of the last couple of years he obviously hasn't been that type of guy. But man, fast, strong, quick, and the anticipation that he used, he was something special. And I thought Bowen was going to say something about not being able to shoot a lick. That's what he had in common with Jason.
You and Jason had a lot in common.
I figured he would do it. Only a Barry would do something like that.
Yeah, well, he got you on that one.
No, he doesn't. Don't fall into Barry's trap.
He got you on that one.
Don't fall. Did he lead the league in three-point field goal percentage? Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right. Look, before we let you guys go, I want you to wrap
play with
up.
Tim Duncan.
Wrap up Jason's career in sort of. John had high praise, said he's one of the greatest point guards ever to play. He played in an era of really good point guards at a time when Steve Nash played and also Stockton. Where does he fit in with these guys?
Well, I think he fits in the top. It's more about what you do to separate yourself from others. And he wasn't one of those guys that was going to average 25 points a game and things like that. He stuck to his strengths, and his strengths were making other guys better. And you cannot defend that definitively when it comes to saying he's not one of the best. So there you have it.
All right. Don't remember his last 10 playoff games where he didn't score a single point. Remember the early years, even the middle years for Jason Kidd. He was fun to watch.